$60 billion for a coding tool sounds insane, until you realize SpaceX is not buying an editor. It is buying the developer gateway into the AI economy. In this video, why SpaceX wants Cursor, what China's deep tech startup soil is missing, and what DeepSeek actually proves. The key point is not just that SpaceX bought Cursor, it is how. The transaction was structured as an all-stock deal using SpaceX Class, a common stock. Cursor's implied equity value was about $60 billion. SpaceX used its market valuation as a currency to buy a future control point. Cursor matters because it sits where developers choose models, APIs, cloud stacks, and workflows. SpaceX's chain is now. Reusable rockets lower access to space cost. Starlink builds communications revenue. That cash supports AI compute and models. Models enter Cursor. Cursor captures developer workflow and feeds the ecosystem back. Why can the loop spin? Because Starlink is no longer a concept. Public materials put SpaceX connectivity revenue in 2025 at roughly $11. $4 billion, with operating profit around $4 billion. Frontier businesses can lose money, but the system needs a cash engine. China does have rocket companies and serious engineers. Land Space, founded in 2015, achieved a major methane rocket milestone with Zhuge 2. But the gap with SpaceX is not just rockets. It is whether rockets connect to massive constellation orders, recurring communications revenue, and cash to fund the next engineering cycle. NASA cargo contracts gave early SpaceX oxygen, not just subsidy, but demand. The satellite internet gap is not just satellite count. Starlink has become a full operating network. China's Tianfeng launched 54 satellites in 2024 and continues to expand. But what must be built is bigger. Launch cadence, mass production, low-cost terminals, service revenue, and software operations behind routing, switching, billing, and enterprise services. China has AI coding tools, but most grow inside large company ecosystems serving cloud, models, and existing businesses. Cursor was different. It first grew as an independent startup and then became a strategic integration target. Its value is not just features. It is independent gateway power. The deeper issue is financing structure. Deep tech may need 7 to 10 years before maturity. Many funds have exit clocks. LPs want DPI. Local capital may care about relocation, output value, and IPO progress. Some Chinese financing agreements include repurchase rights, valuation adjustment mechanisms, performance commitments, and founder-linked liabilities. These protect investors but can turn equity risk into personal debt pressure. U.S. VC is not charity either. Liquidation preferences, anti-dilution, board control, and exit pressure are real. But founder personal guarantees and short-cycle repurchase obligations are not the default in typical Silicon Valley equity financing. The fund carries portfolio risk. That difference matters for rockets, chips, and foundation models. Was Musk's road hard? Absolutely. SpaceX nearly died after early failures. But he had personal capital, NASA demand, equity incentives, deep capital markets, and more tolerance for engineering failure. Chinese deep tech founders face a different hardship. Not a sudden cliff, but long-term oxygen shortage. The prototype is not finished, but the money clock is ticking. DeepSeek proves China can do 0 to 1, but it also shows the issue. It was not a normal startup produced by ordinary soil. It had long-term capital, founder conviction, and room not to chase short-term profitability. China does not need every founder to be superhuman. It needs soil where excellent ordinary teams can survive until technology, product, and market mature. China should not simply copy SpaceX. The realistic path is to build its own loop. Long-term orders for hard tech, real constellation demand for commercial rockets, open model cloud, and developer interfaces, capital tools that reduce unreasonable personal guarantees, and a culture that treats engineering failure as disciplined iteration. Deep tech is not a sprint, it is a relay race. The pain of the SpaceX Cursor deal is not the $60 billion price tag. It is the closed-loop capability behind it. Rockets, Starlink, AI compute models, and the developer gateway. If China wants more 0 to 1 deep tech, the task is not to worship another Musk. It is to build soil where many non-Musk founders can survive long enough to create. Comment loop if you want more system-level breakdowns like this.